Next, we're going to hear from Washington and specifically the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, charting the future of biotechnology, an action plan for American security and prosperity. Delighted to welcome their policy advisor, Zeena Nisar. Zeena.
Hello, everyone. I'm very grateful to be here at BioInnovations Midwest. My name is Zeena Nisar. I'm a policy advisor for the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, and I'm here today to explain our work in charting the future of biotechnology. So the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, which I will refer to as the NSCEB, is a bipartisan, bicameral legislative advisory commission established in the 2022 National Defense Authorization Act. Our charge is to advance and secure biotechnology, biomanufacturing, and associated technologies for U.S. national security and defense, and to prepare the U.S. government for the age of biotechnology. The NSCEB is a bipartisan, bicameral commission. We have 11 commissioners, 4 of which are sitting members of Congress. Our congressional commissioners include Senator Todd Young and Senator Alex Padilla in the Senate, and Congressmen Ro Khanna and Stephanie Bice in the House. Our other commissioners come from an impressive and wide range of backgrounds, ranging from former government to industry and academia. Now, this slide visualizes our timeline and evolution of work. Our office was stood up in March 2023, and for 2 years afterwards, we connected with over 1,800 stakeholders and conducted research across the United States in order to understand the full breadth of issues within our remit. In April 2025, we released our comprehensive report where we outlined our findings and 49 recommendations to Congress. Now, what is unique about our commission is that we're not going anywhere just yet. So we actually sunset in December 2026. And what that means is that we have the next 15 months to translate our recommendations into action. So that is where we are now in our timeline. Our commissioners and staff are meeting with relevant decision makers and drafting legislation to fulfill our mission and prepare the U.S. government for the age of biotechnology. So now I will go into a bit of background of why biotechnology is critical for U.S. national security and economic competitiveness. I hope this is of no surprise to this audience. So first, biotechnology, particularly combined with artificial intelligence, is the next transformative leap in human innovation. To date, most biotechnology breakthroughs have been established in the United States. But for the past 20 years, the Chinese Communist Party has deliberately and strategically invested in biotechnology to achieve their own national dominance in the industry. The results are starting to show. We have advised the U.S. government that the United States must take swift action to remain dominant and capture this moment. We have also determined that biotechnology offers tremendous potential for good. However, it can be misused. We must be, and we, being the United States, drive the standards for how biotechnology is developed and used in the future. So our top line, the United States government should commit $15 billion over the next 5 years to unleash private capital and innovation into the biotechnology sector. I will now discuss a bit more about our report findings, and I hope this resonates with this audience as well. First, without U.S. action, China will lead in biotechnology. The United States has long been a leader in biotechnology, but we now risk losing our edge to China. The Chinese government has aggressively pursued a biotechnology growth strategy across the whole of society while significantly increasing its biotechnology investments for the last 2 decades. The United States lacks a coordinated national strategy for biotechnology. We believe that biotechnology's ChatGPT moment is coming, and the country that captures this breakthrough will capture exponential growth and leadership that will be insurmountable. If China gets there first, the United States will never catch up. 2, biotechnology can break China's supply chain grip. China dominates global supply chains for medicines and pharmaceuticals, critical minerals, consumer goods, and manufacturing infrastructure. We've seen China run this play before with other emerging technologies. They corner the market, they scale production so the rest of the world is dependent on them, and then they cut off access to achieve their own geopolitical objectives. Our dependence on China for our most critical supplies makes us vulnerable to this playbook. 3, biomanufacturing is key to reviving manufacturing in every state. By the end of the decade, biomanufacturing will be used in a third of traditional manufacturing industries. Unlike other emerging technology jobs located primarily on the coast, millions of biotechnology jobs will stretch across the country, from the South to the Midwest, Nebraska, from Appalachia to the Great Plains. These jobs are for high school graduates, skilled tradespeople, farmers, and factory workers. Our economic security depends on the United States leading this industrial revolution. 4, biotechnology is the future of defense. Biotechnology is for 21st century defense what aviation was in the 20th century. When the Wright brothers first took flight in 1903, no one imagined how aviation technology would change how wars are fought. Now we see biotechnology functioning in much the same way, where biotechnology will change how we defend our nation, from reconfiguring military logistics to supporting the warfighter in austere environments. And lastly, unleashing private innovation with effective governance. America's technology sector has a rich history of ambitious research ideas turning into path-breaking discoveries, as exemplified here. Our biotechnology innovation will propel us ahead of China in the 21st century. And in particular, our private markets remain our core advantage. Our capital markets are nearly 4 times larger than China's. This is an advantage we must leverage to advance national biotechnology priorities. However, there exists a mosaic of obstacles that prevents our biotechnology sector from reaching its full potential. Complex regulations, underutilized capital, limited domestic scale of capacity, and insufficient protections lie between today and our biotechnology future. Absent government direction and action, the commercial market will not produce a technology sector that aligns with our national security needs. So I'll now go into a bit more about our 49 recommendations that we have proposed to Congress. At the top, these recommendations fall into 6 pillars of action and 6 policy objectives. In bold are the 3 that I'll go in depth for this audience. Prioritize biotechnology at the national level, mobilize the private sector to get US products to scale, and build the biotechnology workforce of the future. So first, biotechnology is not a national priority. We have found that the US government's efforts are uncoordinated and fragmented across various US agencies. The lack of coherence across research, regulation, manufacturing, workforce development, and program management and policymaking fractures our ability to mobilize our nation towards a biotechnology future. Our recommendations are thusfold. Establish a National Biotechnology Coordination Office in the Executive Office of the President to coordinate interagency actions on biotechnology competition and regulation. I'm very excited to say this recommendation has already been introduced in Congress, in the House as H.R. 2756, and in the Senate as 1387, the National Biotechnology Initiative Act. This act would designate a senior official in each relevant agency to lead biotechnology policy. We also recommend to establish the Office of Global Competition Analysis to develop timely data and technology foresight to inform policymakers' decisions. Our next objective, mobilizing the private sector to get US products to scale. So in our work, the NSCEB has found that there are complicated and lengthy regulatory pathways for biotechnology products. These pathways and the commercialization barriers that exist prevent biotechnology products from commercializing successfully. We have also found that there is currently a very bearish capital market. Capital has become scarcer, and investors have become more risk adverse. There is also an uncertain end-use market for many of these biotechnology products, and that generates a degree of uncertainty that is insurmountable for certain startups. And lastly, we have found that all these barriers to commercialization leave startups vulnerable to Chinese brute force economics and tactics to acquire strategic capabilities and technologies that then bolsters their own ecosystem. So our recommendations are focused on where the US government is uniquely positioned and strategically positioned to de-risk the commercialization pathway for biotechnology products. We propose simplifying product regulation for biotechnology companies, attracting and seeding private capital for biotechnology products, scaling up and de-risking manufacturing, protecting critical biotechnology infrastructure, and protecting technologies and fighting back against China's brute force economic tactics. Lastly, building the biotechnology workforce of the future. The NSCEB has found that there is a lack of enduring technical expertise in Congress and a lack of widespread bioliteracy in the US federal workforce. We have also found that poor understanding of biotechnology workforce needs, and there is a subsequent lack of preparation to fulfill these gaps in the workforce. And so our recommendations are to equip the US government with the necessary biotechnology resources and expertise, support job creation across the United States at all skill levels, and attract, vet, and retain foreign talent to serve in our biotechnology industry. So that's just a brief overview of our 49 recommendations to advance the US biotechnology industry and prepare the United States government for the age of biotechnology. Our 6 policy objectives were just outlined, but I also want to emphasize that our work does not stop here. Over the next 15 months, the Commission will work with Congress and the administration to pass and implement the recommendations outlined in this report. I've brought extras with me if anyone is interested, and I personally have had 2 cups of coffee today, so I'm very eager to connect with stakeholders here in the conference and discuss how the NSCEB, the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology, can ensure the success of this work, the success of the US biotechnology industry, and a promising future for biotechnology. Thank you.